Hey everybody, and welcome back to Behind the Score Sports, another episode of 30 Teams in 30 Days, as we are very close to closing out the NL East division, and then that leaves the or AL East, made up of the Yankees, Rays, Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Orioles to close out this series and get us ever so close to the beginning of the season. Um, on the 27th, on Saturday, I do have an event for doing my fantasy baseball teams for this year to do the drafts for those. If you'd like to come and chat about sports while I'm doing that. And then on April 1st for opening day, I'm going to be live during the Blue Jays Yankees game at 1 o'clock. And then also hoping to be live during the 7 o'clock game. And that'll be on YouTube. But on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, I'm at Behind the Score Sports on all four apps. So make sure you check it out. Like, follow, subscribe. Everything is 100% free. And yeah, let's build a great sports community where a bunch of like-minded people where we discuss sports and get fan involvement. That's one big thing I want to do with this adventure of mine. Um, so we'll get started talking about the Philadelphia Phillies today. Diving into the lineup, I have Gene Segura leading off. He's a right-hander, 337 with 385. This guy can hit. This guy can get on base in his career. Definitely a great guy I see leading off. Next, I have Scott Kingery, center fielder, batting right, 289 with 358. Guy has another good average, could get on base. Uh, Definitely does well being center fielder there. He got speed. This guy can move, so definitely fits well slotting into that second spot. Number 3, Rhys Hoskins. He plays first, right hand, bats right, 255 and 381. This guy has some power. He's had some couple great seasons the last couple years. Um, this guy I definitely see becoming a veteran of the Phillies and the face of the Phillies eventually. He's done very well since coming into the league. I actually had him on my fantasy team in one of my pools, so um, definitely see big things coming from him this season. Number 4, this is the big money man when it comes to the Phillies, Mr. Bryce Harper in right field. He's a bats left, 327, 429. Yes, he has had his struggles since coming to Philly, but this guy definitely has power. Loves to hit, loves to get on base. He's definitely going to drive in runs this season. Hopefully, he can have a better season than he's had. He's definitely capable of it. So it'd be great to watch, and hopefully you can see him get back to form there. Next, number 5 would be Andrew McCutchen, left fielder, bats right, 309 with 374. Andrew McCutchen is getting up there in age, but I do definitely see him compliment Bryce Harper well, being in the 5th spot behind them. But over his career, he has been able to hit, so hopefully we could see him pick it up and put in a good average season. Definitely with more games, more opportunities there. So the catcher, the big man there coming back, JT Real Muto. He's a bats right, 294 with a 348. this guy can hit, this guy can get on base, he calls the game real well. He's number one catcher in free agency this season. Um, so he definitely bodes well when it comes to this team, and definitely seems like he should be better than the sixth spot, but that's where I have him slotted for this team. Number 7 being Alec Baum, batting 310, 362. A very young guy, but he definitely has some big potential. I've seen him in a couple of the game with the Blue Jays. He definitely, you can tell he loves playing the game. He loves getting out there. He's a fresh guy as well, so definitely see him grow and hopefully see him get some big power at bats and possibly over the season through injuries or good play, and hopefully you can get him moved up the lineup there. Didi Gregorius, number 8, shortstop, batting left 255 and 305. He's definitely reaching the end of his career, but a great one at that. Many great years on the Yankees organization. As we know, the Joe Girardi, the old Yankee manager, went to the Phillies, and Didi followed shortly behind that. So I'm sure he feels right at home there, especially with his older manager of quite a few years there. So yeah, I definitely see this team doing well. They've kind of been up and down. They got blew out by the Blue Jays, but they've also had some very good games as well. So definitely see them have an average season. I don't think they'll challenge the Mets, Nationals, and definitely won't challenge the Braves. So I definitely see them fourth in this organization. I think this will be, after this season, it'll be going to the drawing board and decide what the future holds for this team and where they want it to go. There's a lot of ups and downs when it comes to the middle of this division, so there is chances maybe if they hold out to move up at some point, but right now I don't see this team competing with the rest of the division, or at least the top of the division. Utility guys, we have Adam Hazley, Brad Miller, and Roman Quinn. We'll just jump over to the pitching rotation. Leading it off in the ninth, hitting in the ninth spot is the starter for this team, Nola. Behind him we have Wheeler, Eflin, Moore, and then Anderson to round up the 5. This team I have is the 5-man rotation. Definitely throughout the season you could see them move up there, but add a spot, possibly a young guy that they would like to see or is playing real well. So other storylines with this team for this season, there is talent, but how much will we see? There is some guys, like I said, have struggled the last couple seasons. So it would be key for them to pull their games together, play at the top level that they can. We're also adding in a couple of younger guys there as well. But definitely there's more of an older presence on this team. So moving forward, if they don't do as well, we could start to see more and more younger guys move into this lineup. Possibly around trade deadline, if some guys play well, they could get some assets back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Well, Bryce Harper hit 30 plus home runs and 100 RBIs, hitting in fourth. Unfortunately, over the last couple seasons he's had, I don't see him getting the 30 and 100. Um, he definitely has the potential to get close to that. Definitely has the potential to do that. But I think he'd have to have a pretty stellar season over what he's done the last few years to get to that mark. But anything is possible. Um, but like I said, I don't see that for this season. The window is closed for me for this team. Like I said, there's quite a few older veterans on this team. If they're not going to be competing, um, I definitely see at least a couple guys moving on. Got Andrew McCutcheon getting up there along with Didi. Juan Segura was talked about there when Didi came in. What was going to happen there? So yeah, it's definitely a team that if they're not going to compete, I can see them doing a half-hearted rebuild. Of course, Rhys Hoskins going to stay, I would assume, with Bryce Harper and his contract. Um, he's going to be locked in with this team. Scott Kingery as well. Alec Baum coming up. So this team does have some potential moving forward into the future. But if they're not going to be competing, I definitely think they could be looking elsewhere. Pitching rotation doesn't stack up to the rest. They do have some good pitchers. If they're on, they could do well. But looking at the Braves, Nationals, and definitely the potential of the Mets rotation, I don't see the Phillies getting quite to that level. But as we know, with injuries and whatever, things can quickly change over the season as well. So that's the great thing about baseball. You could have a team fourth in the division, and you have a couple other teams get some very key injuries, and things can go in a different direction, like we was talking about with the Nationals. You know, Max Scherzer had his problem there. Strasburg wasn't quite as great as he was there when he signed his new contract. Um, so it definitely, you could see it melt down real quick. Players to watch: Spencer Howard, right-handed pitcher number 1. Bryson Scott, he's shortstop number 2. Mick Abel, right-handed pitcher number 3. Francisco Morales, right-handed pitcher number 4. Adonis Medina, right-handed pitcher number 5. And Louis Garcia, shortstop, and number 6. As you know, I've got some pitchers, like I said, with the rotation, and a couple guys that are shortstop. Those are key guys that I put in for the players to watch, only because, like I said, with DD and Juan Segura, definitely not knowing what's going to happen there, especially as the season goes along. So those could be two guys that definitely find their way of playing for a spot in the later part of the season, or if there's an injury, definitely may get their chance there. So that changes it out for this episode. Like I said, we're getting very close to the end here. We only have 6 more now after today. Real close, getting excited. I do have a surprise coming up within the next week. It should be opening day at the latest. But definitely have something great planned there. So keep tuning in, keep watching. Hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think. You know, interacting with you guys and getting to learn more about you and your opinions on sports would be fantastic. I want to build this into a big fan experience for everybody. Kind of be the leader of it with these podcasts and the lives, but also give you guys a chance to either be a part of it or definitely get your comments in and make you feel that you're a part of it. That's one thing I've noticed with a lot of podcasts. Fan interaction and fans getting to put their own input into it isn't a very big thing, so that's something I'd like to do with this. But anyways, just remember it's not always what happens in the game. There's a lot that goes on behind the score. Thank you and have a great day.